I'm absolutely bursting with pride to be the new Artistic Director of the Adelaide Cabaret Festival 2019. It has been like a masterclass in event management, diplomacy, relationship building, choosing what best food trucks to have for people. I mean, you've got to think of everything. And that's what actually, whenever I've come to a festival, I love coming here because it's winter in Adelaide. So we want to create an atmosphere that's warm, inviting, with candles. Come into our small spaces, our big spaces, grab a drink and watch some amazing music, comedy, burlesque, something shocking. There'll be curveballs and there'll be all the glitzy things you know and love and want to see. If you've never been to the Cabaret Festival, and that's all right, I'm fine with it. If you've not been to the Cabaret Festival, imagine a precinct filled with two big theatres with little theatres in between, within it, and a Spiegel tent in the middle. Now, a Spiegel tent, of course, means a tent of mirrors in German, and it's a wonderful 300-seater that lights up like a beautiful Christmas tree, and inside you will have amazing performers, singers, dancers, a very up-close experience. And then when you spill out of that, there are 4 or 5 other spaces you can go to see different shows. And it's a sort of place you can hang out, have a drink, talk. If you've never had a chance to sing and someone's always told you that you can't, we have a fabulous bar called the Piano Bar, and our fabulous Trevor Jones is at a piano, knows every song under the sun, particularly in the musical theatre cabaret genre, and invites people to sing along. So it's very inclusive, it's beautiful and warm in all the spaces, a little bit cold getting around, but we know that the beautiful thing about Adelaide audiences is they love getting dressed up, they look incredible, they come to this festival, and I will be in the foyers every night for at least the first hour and a half to chat to people, see how they're going, what they're enjoying, and being on hand to be of help as your MC. Well, we know that the Adelaide Cabaret Festival is the largest in the world, and by that I mean it takes up every single space within its precinct, but it's very easy to get around. It has an incredible reputation. Internationals love coming here because not only do they know they're coming to audiences that love cabaret and they can discover new people who haven't been to cabaret before, but because of Adelaide itself, there's the time for the crew and the company to look after them. And I really can't stress that enough because there's a sense of deep care put around that because we're so proud of South Australia and Adelaide and what it can offer you. So not only can you come here as a punter, as an audience member and as a performer to watch or perform in the show, but because not far away you have incredible vineyards, incredible beaches, incredible things to look at and be a part of, it becomes a whole weekend experience for people. And that's rare because it's all quite close. So we know that people love coming here for a whole weekend and doing that. And I've tried to program each weekend in a way that might have a little bit of a theme around it. But we also have this incredible curveball section which says, okay, you might not think you know this or like this. Take a chance, bring a friend, go in there, see how you go. Why not? As the artistic director, you really have to have something for everyone, and we've really worked hard to do that. So when you open the program, instead of going to sections like theatre, comedy, burlesque, jazz, which I think can narrow performers. Performers don't always think they're in one sort of style. And for audiences too, we've put headings in like, if you love to laugh, if you love to reminisce, where you'll hear a great story. If you love a main event, something really big and huge. If you love to get involved, like if you like to actually be interactive and immersive in a show. And again, if you love a curveball, maybe come and see something you wouldn't normally see. We think that's a kind of a more generous way and an easier way actually to kind of manoeuvre a program. But look, there's everything in there from Uta Lemper, who is an extraordinary cabaret performer, the quintessential cabaret performer, German by birth, sings in French, in German, in English, and is doing an Adelaide premiere for us about a 3-hour conversation she once had with Marlene Dietrich. And she's never spoken about it before, and she's building a whole show around how both her and Marlene in a way felt displaced from their country and had to go somewhere else to find fame and work. So you've got classic cabaret like that, down to something very different that's never been done before. It's a show called The Swell Mob. And imagine you're in an 1800s tap house and they're all dressed in costumes from that era, and you walk into the space and you get given a little bag of money, pretend money, not real money, money. And you think, I thought I was coming in here to see a show. And you walk in and you realise you're in the show. Now, that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil it. But it's not about being dumped on and you having to become involved if you don't want to. But it's about you choosing how much you want to be a part of it. You can still be an observer, but if you want to interact, you'll get so much out of it. And that's not just on for 2 or 3 nights. For the whole 3 weeks, they do 2 to 3 shows a day. Only 50 people can go in at a time, so they get the best experience. And those tickets are going to go like crazy. So the lovely thing too is that we're hiring a couple of Adelaide performers to be a part of it. So it's a real joint production with the UK and with Australia in that way. And also there's a local set builder here in Adelaide that's already building the set so that when they arrive, it's sort of all ready to go. And we love those kind of partnerships. If you love improv, which I adore, spontaneous Broadway, where musicals are made up on the spot. And if you love musicals, you'll love spontaneous Broadway. If you hate musicals, you'll love it even more because we're allowed to have a bit of fun with it. That's going to be here. I do a great show here in Australia called Rock Quiz, where we have a live band, singers, people from the audience, and we do quiz questions around rock and roll. We're going to be saluting the rock musical, Jesus Christ Superstar, Hair, Godspell, We Will Rock You, American Idiot, Green Day's new musical. We're going to go through all those musicals and rock your socks off with that. So I feel like there's something for everyone. And if you're someone who's never actually even been to the precinct, we're trying to put in shows where it might not seem like literal cabaret, but people who never, ever, ever come to the Cabaret Festival might visit. So if you like AFL, we've got a show called Presentation Night, where of course those nights where you get a bit of a medal because you've done something terrific. Presentation Night is a show that's been going in Melbourne for a while, and it's where you get a footballer who loves music and a musician who loves football in conversation. So Bob Murphy, the captain of the Western Bulldogs, will be in conversation with Tex Perkins, who's an amazing musician and a rabid fan of St Kilda. They talk about love, life, music, how to win a premiership in the Spiegel tent. And that's a lovely combo because I don't imagine people who love that show will have ever been in a Spiegel tent. Once there's a bar inside, they'll have had a couple of drinks and go, right, well that's finished. What else can we go to? And you can explore the atmosphere of where you are and maybe go and see another show. So it's about bringing those people in to enjoy what this amazing kind of winter festival has to offer in Adelaide, the festival state. There's a couple of packages you can go with too. So every Saturday you can get a package of 2 shows. They include a show at around sort of 7 o'clock and the Swell Mob, the show I was talking about earlier. So the Swell Mob is that immersive, incredible experience where you go in and anything could happen. Plus you might want to see Lisa Fisher on the first Saturday night, who is Mick Jagger's favourite backup singer and has worked with him for many years, who is an incredible musician. Her band will do the most extraordinary jazz set, but she brings in other elements as well. So for the true music fan, you can see that and something completely different with the Swell Mob, and that's a little package. Or in the middle week, you can go and see Bobby Fox. I can't say his name unless I use the Irish accent. Did you pick that up? That was Irish. Bobby Fox is an incredible musical theatre performer here in Australia. He has done it all. He's been Frankie Valli in the Jersey Boys. Triple threat, dances, sings, acts. He's never done his own show about his life. So he was an Irish dance champion, has done his time in Riverdance, and is going to be giving you the best of Irish music from Danny Boy to Whiskey in the Jar. You can see his show and Swell Mob, and that's a package. And on the final night, a curveball. If you want to go and see Iota, another extraordinary performer, an Australian, well, he's more than just cabaret really and musical theatre. He's been in shows like Hedwig and the Odd Angry Inch, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Smoke and Mirrors. He's a force to be reckoned with, and he's in a show called Slap and Tickle. There's a gimp involved, yes, but in a fun way. So that might turn some people off, but absolutely bring in others. I'll be there, don't you worry. With an incredible band, huge band, doing a very wild, out there show, in your face. And if you love curveballs, you can go to that and then go and see Swell Mob afterwards. So that's for the heavy hitters, of those of you who want to be totally immersed and want something a bit dangerous, because it can't all be too safe either. Cabaret, if initially cabaret was a place, be it in France in the Salon in Paris or during the Weimar Republic in Germany, if cabaret was a place to go underground and say the unsayable because you were not the right colour, or you weren't the right sexuality, or you weren't the right whatever, you know, how do we bring that back to cabaret? Because with social media now, people say outrageous things all the time. So what's the value of it anymore? I think what cabaret can do is, by breaking the fourth wall, you're reaching out to that audience. You're talking to them, they talk back to you. It's a bit of repartee, which we love. Real connection. And maybe trying to figure out the world through song and through poetry and through comedy, to make us all kind of be better humans once we get back out there. There's going to be dancing till 2 a.m. Every night in the Spiegel tent. So what we always have is a late night club. This year it's called the 11 o'clock number, which, if you don't know, in a musical, the 11 o'clock number is the second last song of every musical, where, you know, it's the height of the moment, the climax of the story. The 11 o'clock number is on at the Spiegel tent every night at 11 o'clock, just to make it easy for you. And it will be hosted every weekend by a different host. You get to do a whole 3 nights yourself. That's a great show involving different artists from the festival. And then at 12:30, we take away all the chairs and there's a DJ till 2 a.m. Because we know, historically, people are like, I'm never ready to leave at midnight. I don't want to go into town just yet, but can I stay here? So we've made that happen this year and we're thrilled. And yeah, look, it's going to be 16 nights of partying. And look, I'll be taking my rest days seriously, because I've got to be on board every night. But I've never worked on anything that takes so long. It's been 8 months in the making, and we're just announcing our program. And the final piece now, like anything, is opening the doors, letting the people in and sharing it with them. And I'm nervous and excited and just so delighted that it's all come together with this incredible team at the Festival Centre. A very exciting development this year at Cabaret Festival in 2019 is that we are performing some shows out at the Thebarton Theatre. It's been inducted into the South Australia Hall of Fame because it is a jewel. This gorgeous Art Deco theatre that has had everything in it, and I mean everything. Bananas in pyjamas, to sporting demos, to boxing, to Nirvana, you know, everything's been in there. To cabaret, Didi Monteith has performed there, Elaine Page, Dionne Warwick, Uta Lempa has performed there before, and she's delighted to be back because it is a 2,000-seater, but it feels very close. It feels very inclusive, and we're doing our big opening night event there. We are doing, David Campbell is doing a huge swing show with an orchestra. Uta will be there. Rockwiz will be doing Rockwiz Salutes rock musicals there. Kate Miller-Heidke, hot off doing Eurovision as our representative for Australia. Who knows how she'll go? That'll be fascinating. Is doing a show for us there. So it's a wonderful venue with beautiful foyer spaces and a great vibe and just so much history. And it's such a beautiful room to be in. The Spiegel tent is new. And also this year we thought about, there's a room in the Festival Centre called the Banquet Room. And we've just put a little bit of money and love into it. We're putting a bar in there. There's going to be booths. There's going to be chairs and tables and candles, so that when you walk in, we're going to open that venue half an hour before each show. Have a drink, meal, check each other out, have a nice time, sit down, how are you, how are you? And then, we've been having so much fun, the show hasn't even started. We were the show just then. And then you get to watch something. I think too, for the performer, it's a lovely thing to walk out into a space like that. So there's lots of new things happening from our point of view that will be really interesting to see how they play out. But again, just so excited about how people take in all those changes.